just falling apart for Biden. And Trump said last night on Hannity, Biden's not dropping out. So and Trump's always right. So Trump. So the entire left are tearing Biden down, and then he's sticking in the race. That's just awesome. It doesn't get better than this. I mean, this is just the best. It does not get better than this. All right, we will be on the air in about a minute. So we got a lot to cover. This is just a great time. You really got to enjoy this time. All right, let's go. And the reason you got to enjoy this time, we're never going to have someone like Trump again. The MAGA movement, will be around for 150 years, maybe forever. But there's never going to be another Trump. So you really got to enjoy all of this while we're living through it. All right, let's see here. Where are we? Where is that? There we go. All right. 10 seconds.
375009. Any lab test now at Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used.
So Mike, our board op, got the permanent gig to do the weather here on the morning show, and which is good. All of you guys, your positive feedback certainly had to have helped with that. Here we go. 2, 1.
Thank you. On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Oh, man, do we have a lot to cover today? It was a disastrous Monday for Joe Biden and the Democrats, and we're going to cover all of it. Before I get to that, and I have a bit of a mystery, I'm going to play some audio here in a minute. You can help me figure out what this is. But I want to tell you this, and I had a conversation with a caller towards the end of yesterday's show a little bit about this, but I want to highlight it because I think it's very, very important. The moment that we are in right now, this election, the popularity of our great candidate, Donald Trump, this has never happened before. Not for Republicans. Understand? Not for Republicans. President Trump said last night on Hannity, I want to get into some of this later, I'll play some of the audio, but President Trump said last night on Hannity that Biden's not going anywhere. He's got the delegates, and he's going for it. They're not going to be able to get rid of him. And Trump is always right, isn't he? Absolutely. If that's the case, the Democrats are in trouble at a level that they've never been in trouble against a Republican before. This Thursday will be 2 weeks since the disastrous debate between President Trump and Biden. Today's day 10. There has been, for the last 10 days, 24-hour coverage of the mental decline of Joe Biden with a nonstop discussion on his mental fitness. He keeps trying to correct it with interviews and everything, and he makes it worse. So The media, the left-wing Democrat media, have been tearing down their candidate for 10 days now, exposing him to their constituents in a way that they never expose Democrats. You can understand, Democrats have a free pass to do whatever it is they want to do, and they're never held accountable. Look at how the press had covered up for Joe Biden for 4 years, because you got to include the campaign. So, you know, for the liberal mainstream Democrat media to tear down. Oh yeah, Mike, I forgot to tell you. There's someone was messing with the phones. When it rings and I put people on hold, it makes noises. So I don't know how to turn it off. So so if you're on hold, stand by. The Democrat media, they're married to this now. The most confrontational press conference between a Democrat White House press spokesperson and the Democrat left-wing Washington White House press corps was yesterday. There was never such a confrontational exchange as they had in the press briefing room yesterday. And it was all about Biden's cognitive decline. This has never happened before. It happens with Republican presidents, Republican candidates, but not Democrats. This is really, even though the MAGA movement will be here for the next 150 years, 200 years, however, long it'll be around forever. Right now is the peak of it. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. We're going to have other MAGA presidents and candidates after this non-consecutive second term of President Trump. But we will never have another Donald Trump. We are never going to have a candidate that can withstand what he's withstood. They've arrested him. They've gotten mugshots. They took him to the jail. They've got fake lawsuits against him, corrupt judges, criminal convictions, all these things going on top of the nonstop media onslaught. They've broken into his home. They ransacked his wife's closet. They ransacked his teenage son's room. They tossed his office. Nothing like this has ever happened to a president, to a presidential candidate, and still more popular than ever with the internal poll that was leaked out of the Democrats saying that Donald Trump is going to win 307 electoral votes. That's where all their panic is. You only need 270 to win. So enjoy it. I don't want to hear any of these nervous now they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Go back to bed, go to sleep, and just be depressed, okay? This is one of the most exciting times, if not the most exciting times, to be a Republican. We never have what we have right now. And I've been doing this for a long time. I've covered a lot of elections. They're always weighted against us, no matter how popular the Republican is. There's never been anyone nearly as popular as Donald Trump. Donald Trump also is the most popular presidential candidate in the history of the United States. Never has there been a candidate this popular. He has a rally today in Miami, Doral. Gates open at 2. He doesn't even need to have rallies in Florida. This is solid MAGA country, but he's doing it. And, it's an interesting thing. Yeah, Mike, there's the phone's making all kinds of noises. Somebody made an adjustment on the phone. I guess when I put people on hold, it's like making all these office kind of sounds, like I'm a switchboard operator here. I forgot to tell you before the show. I apologize. Yeah, somebody turned something on the phone. I don't know why people mess with all this stuff. No, we've never had a president this popular, but I'll tell you, this rally in Miami, who knows who the vice presidential pick is going to be? We're going to find out at the convention. But I find it very interesting that he is doing a rally in Marco Rubio country. President Trump does not even need to do rallies in Florida. Florida is strong MAGA. He's got the electoral votes here locked up. But Doral, Miami, I still call it Dade County. I know they call it Miami-Dade County, but I still call it Dade County. But that's Marco Rubio country. So I'm not making a prediction that Marco Rubio is going to be the pick. It just seems interesting to have a rally on the eve of the Republican convention in Marco Rubio's town. Anyway, we'll find out what that means. But this is a time that you want to savor. You want to enjoy what's going on. None of these nervous Nellies or depressing people. That I heard some of these yesterday. I want to say one thing before we break that's unrelated. Okay, I got a couple comments about a caller that I got on Friday's show that was trying to get sympathy by saying his mother was sick in the hospital. I asked what she had. She wouldn't tell. And a couple people said, you know, you're a little too short and rude with some of these callers. You know, a lot of these callers, that some of them are more known than others, but most of the people you'll hear me get into a conflict like that, and you might say, that's out of the blue. Why are you giving this guy a hard time? I've never heard him call before. Maybe he's only called once. Why are you giving him a hard time? It may be the first or second time you've heard them, but some of these people I have long-term telephone relationships with, okay? And a lot of these people I've known longer than my own daughter because they've been bothering me since before my daughter was born, okay? So sometimes when I'm short with one of these jerks on the air, it's not the first time I've talked to them. If it seems out of the blue, right? You know, we get new callers and stuff all the time. But what I mean is if I go after someone and you think that's totally out of the blue, like, why are you going after this guy? He didn't say anything. It may not have said anything in particular that time, but the other 8,000 times I've talked to him, you know, there's been years of tension. So that's where that comes from. When people write me things like that, and I get to get a few comments about that particular guy, from some listeners. It's too complex to explain in writing in a DM, so I just did it on the air. All right, so if you're on hold, hang in there. We've got a lot to cover. This is a great time of celebration. No depressive people. Oh, they're gonna. Oh, I'm worried. You know. Oh, please, go see a psychiatrist. Go see a psychologist. Get some therapy. You got nothing to worry about. All right, let's take our first break of this Tuesday morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Indeed, we'll take our first break of the day and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call The Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Okay, it seems okay now. I think. Well, we'll see. Yeah, see if it might do it when I put it on hold. There we go. It's not doing it now. No. Mm-hmm. I don't know why somebody would put the ringer on.
Builds up to 40%. Dog Days of Summer sales. Save 50% on radiant barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off radiant barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet. Plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you were looking for
All right, stand by. We're coming back. If you're on hold, hang in there.
Chowderheads, you'll love their authentic seafood, grown and fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did.
Caught me off guard.
I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Did you know the Volin Center offers free transportation?
Okay, after this commercial.
Catching a ride with the Volin Center coach has never been easier. The Volin Center has been providing rides for seniors aged 60 and over since 1968. Available to all clients and the public. Pick you up or take you home. To shopping and appointments too. Servicing Boca, Delray, Boynton, and free rides to doctors. The Volin Center. Together, we make community happen. Learn more at volincenter.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we're back. 19 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to play more of this later in the show, but Biden went on Joe Scarborough yesterday with Mika, and he did I believe it was a phone interview, and I believe Biden was in the bathroom, actually sitting on the toilet. And I'm not kidding, I'm not trying to be funny. When I play the rest of it later, you'll agree, but I want to play this one clip from it, and it sounds like he was straining to go to the bathroom here. Listen to this, and see if you could let me know what this may be. This is Biden. He's talking with Joe Scarborough and Mika.
Prime Minister with the Diaga.
Diaga. He's talking, he yells out, Diaga. Is that what he says?
Prime Minister with the Diaga. Look, the country, the rest...
And the echo is why it sounds like it's in the bathroom. What is that about? Very strange. Isn't that strange? Now, over the weekend, there were, what was the number? It was over 100. There were 109 people shot in Chicago over the weekend. 109 shot. 19 of them have died. And, you know, of the ones that haven't died, they still could, right? 109 people shot in Chicago. You know, I was watching the local news in Chicago, and they went to the beach, what they call a beach. It's not what we have here in Florida. But they go to the beach and they interview people, and they're there with their kids, and there's like, yeah, when there's a lot of shootings going on, we just don't go to the beach. We say, I'm like, oh my God, what a weird area to live in. It's like Beirut in the 80s. 109 people shot in Chicago, 19 have died, and I promise you, most of them are probably black. Where's Black Lives Matter? Where's Black Lives Matter? If Black Lives Matter truly care about black lives and think they matter, shouldn't they be based out of Chicago and focus their efforts there? But the mayor of Chicago, who's a complete lunatic, had a press conference yesterday. Now keep in mind, 109 people in his city shot. 19 of them have died. Of those that are alive, some of them could die still. And certainly, depending on the severity of the wounds, some of these people may have lifelong disabilities. So this lunatic mayor of Chicago has the most bizarre statements. This is a clip. This is the mayor of Chicago with his press conference about the shootings over the weekend.
So we cut off the pipeline of boys between the ages of 10 and 19 being either victims or the perpetrators. So, yeah, it is personal. Black death has been unfortunately accepted in this country for a very long time. We had a chance 60 years ago to get at the root causes, and people mocked President Johnson, and we ended up with Richard Nixon. I'm going to work hard every day to transform this city. That's what it takes to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago in a year.
Okay, what is this lunatic talking about? He's talking about Johnson 60 years ago and Nixon. Nixon, by the way, wasn't elected quite 60 years ago, but close. I'll let him round up to that. What is he talking about here? 109 of his citizens have been shot, 9 of them fatally over the weekend, and he's talking about Johnson and Nixon in an election in 1968. And by the way, he didn't even run for re-election in 68, Johnson. And I've heard a lot of negative things about Richard Nixon. He was a great man and a great president, taken down by the deep state. He caved. But I've never heard Richard Nixon any negative comments about civil rights. Do you know that Lyndon Johnson's Voting Rights Act only applied to southern states? Richard Nixon, in 1970, made the Voting Rights Act a federal law that covered all the states. It only covered the southern states under Johnson. And Nixon expanded it. He also, when he came to office, Richard Nixon, found that while Brown versus Board of Education, which, the decision of the court that stopped segregation of schools, he found that the schools were still segregated and spent a huge part of his first term integrating the schools that were still segregated. Okay? So I don't. What is this lunatic talking about? The reason that people are being shot like this in Chicago is because dummies like this Democrat, they don't do anything about it. He's out there blaming dead Republicans for things in Chicago. Let me tell you, what would happen in your neighborhood or my neighborhood if people were getting shot like this? It'd be over. You know why? Because people in the neighborhood wouldn't accept it and would rat everybody out. The problem in Chicago is a gang problem. It's a gang problem. Most of these shootings are gang related. And do you know what? It's not just black on black. There's a lot of violence that's Hispanic gang versus black gangs in Chicago. And a lot of those Hispanic gang members in Chicago that are responsible for these gang wars are illegals. A lot of them MS-13. Making yourself a sanctuary city and setting up a bunch of illegals that are in your city that have crossed the border fleeing Johnny Law and wherever they came from is one of the reasons. This idiot in Chicago, what a disgrace. If you live in Chicago, get the hell out. If they're blaming dead Republicans for the shootings in Chicago, they're really not. They really don't think Black Lives Matter or any lives matter. One thing I would do is, and this would certainly be a lot cheaper than the medical bills that are and funeral expenses that are paid. I would offer a massive reward. If you report, kind of like, the neighborhood watch stuff, you can report. If you report someone who is in possession of an illegal firearm, when they're prosecuted, when they're arrested, prosecuted, and convicted, you get $5,000. You get $5,000 for every person, not gun, every person you turn in who is in the illegal possession of a gun. $5,000. They'll be ratting each other out like no tomorrow. Now, of course, a lot of them would be other gangbangers, but that's okay. That would help. You could institute the stop and frisk policy that the great Mayor Giuliani brought to New York City, which cleaned up gun violence in New York City when he first became mayor. That's another idea. How about that? Now, there's other things you could do too, but Democrats don't care. Democrats don't care. They don't care about black lives. They really don't. If you're on hold, stand by. We got a lot to cover. I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe.
It's Michael Barone from the True Oldies Weather Service. Today is July 9th, 2024. Right now it's 78 degrees and it'll reach about 91 as the highest today. It's going to be a cloudy one and about a 55% chance of rain throughout the day. So just in case, bring an umbrella with you and make sure you stay dry for the rest of your Tuesday morning.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Hey, did you use the presets? Let me show you which one to use. Because it's a little lower than yesterday.
Also, it was in a rush because I want to get it done before
Yeah.
about an hour.
Well, yeah, let me see. I'm going to go to multi-track. Oh, okay. I don't know what he called it. Maybe he did a voiceover with music. Or just click them all and then we can find it. No, that's the podcast. No. Mm-mm. No. Maybe it's not there.
Unless I did one of these.
Yeah, you didn't use the ones that I have. He may not have put them in there. May not have saved them.
I know he told me it was. Oh, maybe he did his because he had one of his things as well. I told him about yours. No.
I can do it on my computer still if you want. It's yeah.
Yeah, because he's like.
I can still do it. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, please, because I like your setup better. He was saying that he had his thing too, and I was like, yeah, but like Brian has this own setup that he has, and it's
Maybe he just doesn't want to put them in for some reason. But
I like your sounding of it better. It sounds a lot
yeah.
better. I know, like you said, he thinks that it might be, better or the same. But it's like, no, it's like there's a difference.
There's a big difference.
I think if he hears it, we have him listen to it. I think if he hears it, he'll see it on top. We'll see what we're talking.
Well, text it to me, and then I'll put it in. I'm helping Mike do his production.
Replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet them, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet them again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Join us from
All right, coming back.
Scripture, hosted by Jan Coleman every Sunday morning from 6 to 6:30 a.m. We will read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, we're back. Coming up on 33 minutes after the hour. It's Tuesday. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Okay, so getting back to Trump and Biden and all the greatness that's about to happen. So last night, President Trump said on Hannity that Biden's not going anywhere. He's staying with the race. And what I was telling you at the top of this hour is that's a beautiful thing, because the left-wing media, they're continuing to undermine him. Let me play this. This is Jake Tapper. Now, Friday I shared with you the clip of that interview that Biden did with the black radio station in Philadelphia with the lady that got fired because she interviewed Biden, right? Remember talking about this? Where he said he was proud to be the first black lady president, and I played it. And some Democrats says, well, that's not what he said. That's not what he... Well, yeah, go talk to Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper at CNN yesterday talked about Biden's Philadelphia black radio station interview, cognitive decline. Listen, this is Jake Tapper, CNN, talking about that interview.
In reality, 72% of voters say that they believe President Biden is too old. That's according to CNN's most recent polling. Voters have been saying this for quite a long time. The reality is that the Democratic elites are mostly late to acknowledge these age and ability issues compared to the rest of the public. The elites have been forced to reckon with it after the debate just 11 days ago.
Look at my career. I've not had many of those nights. It was a terrible night, and I really regret it happened. But the fact of the matter is, how can you assure you're going to be on fake I can intervene on your way to go to, work tomorrow? Age wasn't, the idea I'm too old.
The fact of the matter is, how can you assure you're going to be out on your way to go, work tomorrow? Age wasn't, the idea that I'm too old. Keep in mind, that soundbite is supposed to be reassuring to those Democratic supporters who have gone wildly.
Did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
He doesn't think he did. He called into a couple of black radio stations where he said, among other things, this.
By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman to serve with a black president. I'm proud of the role of the first black woman in the Supreme Court. There's just so much that we can do because together there's nothing. Look, this is the United States of America.
He's proud to be the first black woman? Not coherent. And even then, we later found out, from the radio host, that the Biden campaign had given her a list of questions to ask President Biden. That is a huge no-no in journalism, and the host was fired for it, but it remains quite telling that in the Biden campaign's efforts to show that the president has not missed a step, his campaign felt the need to feed questions to the hosts for a call-in radio interview. And the president still, even then, failed to deliver in many of his answers. Now, many elected Democrats are expressing concern about this answer, too, although it was quite coherent. George Stephanopoulos asking him how he would feel if he ultimately loses to Donald Trump, which polls have suggested he will.
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do, that's what this is about.
As long as he gave it his all and did the goodest job he could do, that's what it's all about. Is it?
It's Jake Tapper analyzing things. It sounds like me and the analysis I did the last few days of those very same sound bites. So if President Trump is right, and he always is, that Joe's not going anywhere, the damage that they've done to Biden is irreversible. This is a beautiful thing. All right, let's take some calls. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Bob in Lake Worth. How you doing?
Hey, Bob. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good. It's amazing to me how they just lie about everything. They lied about Russian collusion. They lied about Biden being in his basement 2020. We could have found out a lot of this stuff, and they've been lying the whole time. And now all of a sudden they're shocked that this is happening. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, but I'm not going to attack. Before you get to the question, you're not going to hear me attack the media over this. They're doing the right thing now, and they're helping. Jake Tapper and CNN are helping bring Trump back into office. I'm not going to attack them. I know Fox is, because they're jealous that people are, but don't attack these people for doing the right thing all of a sudden. They're helping us.
No, I don't want to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. I think it's wonderful they're actually telling the truth, because it's so obvious that they'd be ashamed, they'd be embarrassed not to say this stuff after that debate. And I was listening to another guy in the afternoon talking about before the debate how it was a mistake. I'm like, how can it be a mistake for Trump to go into CNN and expose who Biden is and how bad he is mentally? It was crazy.
They said, hold on, somebody said that after the debate?
Before the debate, they were saying, well, Trump's going to go into CNN and they're going to do this to him.
Well, let me tell you, Trump's debate with Joe Biden, and I'm not the only one that's saying this. Everybody's that's got half a brain cell is saying this. Trump's debate with Biden was the most devastating presidential debate in history. Think about it. When have you ever seen a presidential debate where the night of, they're talking about that president resigning from office and dropping out of the race? I've never seen a devastating debate like that ever. So it was a perfect, the best debate ever.
Beautiful. And what I love about President Trump is the man is so brilliant, it's unbelievable. The way he manipulates and I'm not going to say uses, but gets what he wants out of people, because he's so smart and he's playing chess while all these other idiots are playing checkers. It's crazy. But now the new big lie I hear is coming up is this Project 2025.
Oh, yes.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's complete BS. Oh, please, they don't know what they're... I mentioned this briefly on Friday. I've been watching a lot of the liberal news because of all this stuff with Biden, and MSNBC, that's all they talk about, Project 2025. It's some very long position paper put out by the Heritage Foundation. President Trump said over the weekend he had nothing to do with it. They're trying to create a new, Q, boogeyman kind of thing on the left. Ooh, Project 2025. It's got nothing to do with Trump. And by the way, what I've seen in it, I don't see anything bad. It talks about securing the border, firing federal workers and such. But it's a fake thing that they're bringing up on the left. Ask your friends that give you a hard time about Project 2025, ask them to tell you what is in it and what's bad about what's in it specifically. Ask them to be specific. They won't be able to.
Well, the funny part is, I agree with you. One of the ladies posted this morning about how we're going to hear at NPR. That's a great idea. No, I'm sorry, not get rid of, defund it. You guys got to sell commercials. You have to make a living, right? Let them do it too.
When I worked at iHeart in Miami, there was a guy who was the top sports guy. He did commentary during the World Series. Okay, and he did play-by-play during the World Series, and he took a job at NPR in Miami. And I said to him, what's that about? He's like, well, come on over to the studio. Let me tell you, I'm in an ultra-modern broadcast facility here at True Oldies, okay? This is antiquated and cheap crap compared to what they had at public radio. They had the most expensive high-tech equipment I've ever seen in a radio station because it's all government funded. Do you know at NPR in Washington, D.C., they got a beekeeper that has beehives on the roof? I'm not making this up. At the NPR main offices so people that work at NPR can have fresh honey in their coffee in the morning. I am not kidding. To hell with their voices while they're on the air. I'm not kidding. They have a beekeeper. What radio station has a beekeeper on staff? I'm not making that up. That's a true story.
I know. I listen every once in a while if I'm out in the middle of nowhere, can't get a real station. I listen to that garbage. And these people have this game show thing. There's 5 or 6 people on the show. They're all probably making $1 million.
Wait, don't tell me. Yeah, wait, don't tell me. Wait, don't tell me.
Yeah, and you think that show's going to get any ratings if they actually had to sell commercial?
When Steve was interviewed on PBS once in Miami, and I went down there with him. And I went to this was the TV, not PBS, not NPR. They had different sets around the soundstage, and the show, and it was all dark. And I watched them set up. The sets were like parade floats. They had multiple sets all over the place. They could drive them around by remote control. You know, most places, you'd push the sets around. If you just have NPR and public radio, they should be shut down. They should be defunded. They blow all kinds of money. If you went to the public radio and public television places, you would be shocked. Shocked. All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. All right, you take care. Yeah, you know, that thing about the beekeepers, you know how I found out about this? NPR built a new facility with studios in D.C., and they invited the media to give a tour, and there were articles written about it. I don't want anybody to think I am kidding. You know, they tell you when you're on the air you should drink honey with tea and all that stuff, and I don't do all that. But they want their air staff to have, you know, not just any honey, but fresh honey from the beehives on the roof. You can look it up. That is a true story. I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to be funny, because I'm not. Okay, now, unlike NPR, yes, we do have advertisers. That's how we pay for things here. I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. He's going to be in the studio one day this week, and I got a lot of things I want to talk to him about. But, you know, if you are already retired or plan on retiring at any point in your life, it could be today, could be your last day. Your last day could be 20 years from now. Give Joe Thomas a call. Talk to him about annuities. Annuities are absolutely amazing. You know, with annuities, your money is not at risk. You know, the stock market, you can make money, you could lose money. It goes up and down. Who has time for that anxiety? And I work too hard to be gambling. We go on our cruises. I don't gamble. I don't spend 10 cents in the casino. I don't. And to me, the stock market is gambling. Annuities, that's a safe bet. You can make money. And you can have revenue, an income stream coming to you in your retirement. It's amazing. And Joe Thomas, of course, he offers free copies of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All, but he also offers free phone consultations. Now, he's based right here in Jupiter, which is a beautiful area, by the way. I was talking about Joe Scarborough and Mika. Joe Scarborough lives in Jupiter. Don Jr. lives in Jupiter. Tiger Woods lives in Jupiter. Just to give you the idea of the class of people that are in Jupiter. And when you're talking about financial advice, you want to talk to somebody who's, you know, lives in Jupiter. You get my drift on that? He's offering free phone consultations, which you can take advantage of no matter where you are located in America. Here's Joe's number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's I'm sorry, did I say 958? It's 561. Oh boy, I'm getting like Joe. Did I say 561 or 954? I said 954. No, that is not the number. Oh my goodness. I'm getting like Joe. Maybe I got to see that Parkinson's expert. They've been sneaking into the White House. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number because I blew it and screwed it up, just go to his website, JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com, and you'll find the number there. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll be right back.
Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
I almost got it done. Yeah, hold on.
Joe's coming out on Thursday.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael.
So much better.
Let me see if I can. If they don't want to put it in there, I'll do it for you. It just takes a second. I just have to do it.
If it's not bothered.
No, it's not.
Right, good. Yeah,
but if they do it, you can use it for other things.
Yeah, which I thought was a good idea. I thought that would
well, you know, I understand. Yeah.
Tuesday morning.
It looks like it cut it off just a hair.
Tuesday morning.
Okay. I'll text it back to you.
That's right. Someone will hear it sound clear and good, and then be like, oh.
Yeah, I mean here because it's through the laptop. It doesn't.
Yeah, but we hear it on like yesterday. It was on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just text it to everyone until we get it on the. If we get on the computers.
There you go. I just texted it back to you.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000,
I think it sounds a lot different. I mean, I don't.
what are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4
Yeah.
years to get a permit. In HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the supplier.
It has like bass and it's got like a richer sound to it.
Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988.
Well, if they don't put it in there, you can just use it, and your stuff will sound better than everybody else.
Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too, residential roofing and repair.
I have production software that they don't have at the radio station. It makes the weather report sound a little bit better, you know. So.
4602 954 604 4602 and online laportacontracting.com.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, brought in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls.
Yeah, on the cruise, I was talking to one of the singers, and they were telling me that I should use honey. I can't. First off, I can't drink tea. Like, my throat now is a little, you know, between the radio, the podcast, live streaming, I do production work. Sometimes my throat is out of it. Sometimes I don't talk when I'm not on the air during the day. Like, after the show, I don't talk. Because my throat, like right now, my jaws are sore. I talk so freaking much. Hours a day. Maybe I'll try the honey. Maybe I'll buy some today and try it. All right, here we go.
The social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All righty. We're back. 10 minutes before 7. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We've only just begun. We got a lot to cover. Let's go back to our very busy phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Ben from Popdo.
Hey, Ben. What's up?
Hey, I heard what you were saying about the NPR, and man, like, this is exactly what made me leave the left. Like, the other thing about the NPR is, like, everything they do is so pretentious, yet they're socialists, right? They always care about the little man and the working class, but they take these vacations in Swiss Alps and have their honey, you know, freshly made for them on their own rooftop.
With a beekeeper. They had a beekeeper on staff. Yeah.
I can't believe that.
I know.
They're so pretentious. And you ever notice their names? All their names are like these very they're all like Wesley grads with names like, you know, Debbie P. Mattei, and the way, or like you know, they have some biracial name with like a hyphen in it. Everything about them is just like
yeah.
And this is what disgusts me about the left. They just don't. It's like a club, and they don't actually care about the working class. It's just for like this social stature.
Well, you know what it is? You know, I don't want to get sidetracked on public radio too much, okay? Because there's a lot going on. But what happens is, you know, in communist societies, the elite live like kings and queens, and everybody else lives like a peasant. That's how it is.
Yeah, no, 100%. And so, yeah, sorry. I turned on the radio.
That's okay. That's okay. Oh, you missed a lot. You missed a lot. But yeah, it's okay. Well, no, I'll get us back on track. Of course. I want to play I covered a lot, but one thing is, yesterday, Biden did an interview with Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, and it was a phone interview. I'm going to play an extended version of it, but I have this one clip. It's echoey, and it sounded to me like he was in the bathroom, and then Biden lets out. I'm going to play this for you. Let me pull this up. Biden lets out with this bizarre, in the middle of his conversation, word, and it sounded as if he was straining to force a bowel movement. Listen.
Prime Minister with the Diaga. Look, the country.
See, hear that? Diaga. What's that?
Prime Minister with the Diaga. Look, the country.
What is that about? Diaga. Why did he yell out Diaga?
I honestly think if he was in the bathroom, he might have totally forgot himself and where he was.
Yeah.
Thought, I'll call Joe right now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying he was like comatose, but sometimes when if you go further into the stages of senility, like you just forget, like, what did I come in this room for? And I'm sure it was like, he's in the bathroom and he's like, oh yeah, I gotta call Joe Scarborough. Like, I get it. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, you find cocaine in this guy's White House. He's absolutely losing his mind. He shows up for that George Stephanopoulos interview with a tan, trying to look like Trump.
Yes.
He's losing it, and the more he tries, the more he steps in it. And he went on. If you notice in that rant to Joe and Mika, he started like he no longer has original thoughts. He just repeats these like platitudes that he's used throughout his life. Like he was saying things like, "Come on, man," and "Try me."
Yeah. Yeah.
Always say that to politicians. That would be a go-to line.
Mm-hmm.
The only things he's able to verbalize now are go-to lines. He doesn't have like original thoughts anymore.
Yes, that's right.
Like he's an automaton deep into the grips of dementia.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And later I'm going to play the exchange at the press briefing with Jean-Pierre coming up in the next hour. It was brutal. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
Hey, Richie.
Geez, I don't know whether I should say this on the radio or not because I didn't get permission from Jay from New Jersey.
Jay from Jersey? Yeah. That was, yeah, okay.
One of the callers yesterday that called you and myself a racist, and you said you couldn't talk for me. But I feel that Jay is such a totally intellectual midget that it's not even worth it. And I wouldn't want him voting for President Trump because he has nothing between the ears. And that's not a Trump voter. We have thought, and we don't just personally attack people when you have nothing to say and you start attacking their daughter and their wife and every other damn thing.
Well, when you talk about people like Jay from Jersey, you're talking about grown men that still live in the room that they grew up in at mom's house, right? I mean, these are not real men. These are bums.
Right. You mentioned Chicago, and that's why I need his permission to talk about blacks, because I'm a racist. The fact is, Jay, that I'm not black, but I drove buses through black neighborhoods for over 32 and a half years, Jay.
Yes.
And I dealt with neighborhoods, and what I saw in the neighborhoods were 95% decent people. You know where these gangs come out of? They come out of single parents that have more than one child living on government subsidy in a government housing area because there's nobody watching these. Yeah,
basically what you are, you're kind of like driving Miss Daisy in reverse. They can make a movie about you, driving, spit your life driving black people around. Yeah.
They don't have, remember Maury Povich? He had that show on Who's the Baby Daddy?
Yes.
Well, that's exactly what goes on in the black community when it comes down to the poor areas. If they had a father there that could instill morals into their children, they wouldn't be on the street shooting each other.
Yeah.
They're basically homeless kids.
Well, let me tell you this story in Chicago. 109 shot, 19 of them dead. They may all be black. Most of them are because it's Chicago, and a lot of that crime is because of what you said. A lot of it is Hispanic gang versus black gang. A lot of it is the fentanyl that Biden's bringing in. What's going on up there is insane. Whenever there's a holiday weekend like 4th of July, which was exceptionally long because 4th of July was on Thursday, you should leave Chicago. You should not stay in Chicago. It's not safe. It's just not.
I want to talk about Biden. First of all, I understood what he was saying when he said
Diaga? What? Oh, okay. No,
Diaga. I believe that was a seizure. I think he's getting.
Oh, really?
Tourette's.
Really? No, that's. Let me go. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let me go back. Let me pull it up because because this what? Yeah, I'm going to play more of the interview later in the show. But I have no doubt he was in the bathroom by the echo sound. But he's on the phone with Joe Scarborough and Mika yesterday, and let me pull it up here. Okay, you think this was a seizure? Let's go. Diaga. You think that was a seizure?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because he doesn't. Right in his mind right now, he knows what he wants to say, but it comes out like a word salad, like the short circuits. Yeah, he was trying to say that he was the first president that had a black female president, and he was a bison.
So you think, okay, this is interesting. So you think the words got confused because he has a connection problem and just gibberish came out. Interesting.
Start listening to it, you could tell exactly what he's trying to say there. One word changed the whole thing, and it made him sound like it didn't make sense, but it does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
He can't get out of his mouth what he really wants to say.
No, I think a seizure is quite possibly it. But now we find out this neurologist, this Parkinson's expert's been visiting monthly.
I had a neurologist on one of these networks last night who didn't examine him, but he said, listen, if you were a medical student and saw this, you'd be thrown out of
Yeah, I saw that.
and diagnosed that right.
I saw that.
He does have it. He has it. He has it.
You know, I've been telling you guys for 2 years I think he's got Parkinson's. And the reason I said Parkinson's is not just because of his symptoms. A lot of people that have Parkinson's have a lifelong history of substance abuse. Like, no one could tell me that, like Michael J. Fox, when he did Back to the Future, he filmed Family Ties all day, did Back to the Future at night. He had to be coked up, right? You know what I mean? To do that. So that, and now look at it. Listen, I'm out of time, Richie. I got a break for the top. Thanks for the call. Call us on hold. Stand by. It's Tuesday. We're coming up on the 7 o'clock hour. My name is Brian Craig. Our number is 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from the True Oldies Weather Service. Today is July 9th, 2024. Right now, it's 78 degrees, and it'll reach about 91 as the highest today. It's going to be a cloudy one, and about a 55% chance of rain throughout the day. So just in case, bring an umbrella with you, and make sure you stay dry for the rest of your Tuesday morning.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here.
Yeah, I think it sounds better. If you want to, I'll do it, but it's so I don't know if we'll get it for that first one at the top of the 6 o'clock hour.
I think we'll hit it by the bottom of the hour.
Did you edit out the breaths?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to
you should do that.
It's supposed to be under 25 seconds, and that one was 30, so I try to cut out.
With those preset, that's a lot of people. You should do that. But with those presets, like say it has to be 30 seconds and it's 31 or 32, you can take it and push it together and make it 30. So if you can get to use those, I'll show you how to do all that stuff.
Yeah, and try to. I'm gonna keep pushing until he does it, or at least puts out one.
Well, what I'm wondering is. Maybe you can ask him just to put it on this one.
Yeah, try this.
Because he doesn't want it on his, maybe?
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm gonna talk to him to see if he can, like you said, put it at least.
And I'll show you how to do that thing where you can put it together. I do that all the time. Yeah. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'd let him use my agent if I had one. I need an agent. Oh, Marion Z, dog passed away. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's awful. I know. I miss our dog Nina, but we're not going to get another dog. We got the 2 kittens, so now we have 3 cats. But losing dogs never gets easy. I know it's awful. All right, we'll be back in 35 seconds.
Since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. Okay. Yeah, Richie made mention to what was next on my... Richie, do you have a camera here looking at my show? Probably just saw it on my Twitter, maybe. But the next thing I was going to play, Richie referenced. Okay. The last couple of days have been a complete disaster for Biden. And it's gotten worse each and every day because they keep trying to do damage control. And yesterday, I'm going to get to this in just a little bit, there was a White House press conference with Jean-Pierre yesterday with the liberal media that was the most confrontational press conference at the White House between the White House press corps and the spokesperson of a Democrat president in history. That's coming up in just a little bit. You will not want to miss it. I have the highlights. But this clip that I played, I want to play it again in reference to this. Biden did an extensive interview with Scarborough yesterday on MS-13BC and let out with this bizarre yell. He said a lot of other things. I'm going to play some of that interview coming up too, but this is just a clip. You hear that Diaga, and now we're thinking, is that a seizure, right? Is that a seizure? So Fox News yesterday had a neurologist on with what's the woman's name on Fox News that is having a lot of problems with the aging of her neck? I forgot her name. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Martha McCallum. That's her name. That's right. She's got a young-looking face, but she's got the neck of like a 78-year-old. She had a neurologist on last night, and it came out yesterday that, scratch that. Laura Loomer broke over the weekend, and now the mainstream media went with it. I mean, think about it. This exchange between Jean-Pierre and the Democrat White House press corps yesterday was because of Laura Loomer's reporting. Laura Loomer reported over the weekend, and now the mainstream media have it, is that Biden has secretly been meeting with a neurologist who's a Parkinson's expert, and he's been seeing him monthly for the past 8 months. Okay? So Martha McCallum, she had on this specialist on her program last night. This is some of the exchange.
I put a medical student in front of a standardized patient that was Joe Biden, and that student came back and reported that the president had normal cognition and no diagnoses. That student would fail the exam. This is clearly some dementia. It may be mild, it may be mildly progressive and not severely progressive, but clearly it's not the sort of patient you say, looks good, I'll see you in a year, as the White House had suggested. This is somebody you follow closely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and he's got the nuclear football. Okay. Now, this is incredibly significant here for a whole bunch of reasons. The doctor of Biden that's been signing off clean bills of health saying there's no cognitive decline or anything, we found out has been involved in shady business dealings with the Biden family that are being brokered through Joe's scummy brother, James. And, yeah, I know. So they obviously are paying off the doctor. The doctor has a financial incentive to give him a clean bill of health. And, it's this doctor could find himself losing his medical license when this is all over. I've never seen something quite like this happen before, and no one else has. The financial aspect hasn't made it to the mainstream press yet, but you know what? It's going to, and it's going to soon. All right, let's go back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, that word, that unintelligible word that he said, diag, whatever it was, it could be one of two things. They were talking about his condition, and it could be him trying to say diagnosis, all right? But it also...
He was talking about meeting with a foreign head of state. He wasn't talking about medical issues, and he just yelled out, Diaga.
Or if he sounds like he's in the bathroom, and he sounds like he's using the facilities, maybe it sounded like he was saying diarrhea.
Maybe. It's quite possible, Mike. Who knows? But it was not something you would say. First off, you wouldn't do a phone interview in the bathroom on the toilet like he did. But there's definitely something wrong. All right, I appreciate the call. You make a good point. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Diarrhea, I thought that was funny. Anyway, first of all, thank you for all your podcasts. They were great podcasts, one after the other, man.
Thank you.
When you had Whoopi Goldberg, I don't know, was she trying to be funny?
No, I'm going to play that in a little bit. Whoopi Goldberg, she was being serious as a heart attack.
So now she wants to start if you poop in your pants, vote for Biden Club?
Yes, that is correct.
This is really unbelievable. You know, the other thing I want to mention is, I heard somebody from California talking about how easy it is to lie on the registration to vote.
It's not open phones today. Open phones is Friday, so you got to stay on top. All right, appreciate the call. Since he did mention Whoopi, I was going to get into this later in the show. And by the way, some people wonder, well, why do you only do open phones on Friday? They're not hosting a show. There's a lot of important news to talk about. If I just say, okay, call in, and okay, all right, and you know, that's not hosting or organizing a show. That's just being a phone operator, right? I was going to play this later. I really reluctant to play this at all because it's the breakfast hour, but Whoopi Goldberg came on The View yesterday and just made the most disgusting, bizarre admission that I've ever heard anybody say on national television before. Listen to this. This is Whoopi Goldberg. She is not kidding. She is as serious as a heart attack. Listen.
I'm just going to add my 2 cents because I wasn't here on the day that y'all talked about it. I don't care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence together. Show me he can't do the job, and then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time to go.
Okay. So, I know, isn't that crazy? She doesn't care if he goes number 2 in his pants. He can still do his job. This is really bad. You know, I remember, it gets worse. It gets worse. So, is this the new thing now that they're going to start running with? I don't care if he goes number 2 in his pants. He can still do the job. I used to hear that from Democrats during the Bill Clinton-Monica Lewinsky scandal. And if you remember, Bill Clinton was he was having oral sex performed upon him in the White House, in the Oval Office, right? There were some other things, too, with the cigar, and then Bill Clinton would do something with the sink in the Oval Office. I'm not going to get into all the details of that. But liberals were saying, not just callers to the show, on national programs, on CNN, okay? Democrats were saying, yeah, he's having sex, in the Oval Office with a 25-year-old intern, but he's still doing a good job as president. And as long as that doesn't, as long as that sink and the cigar and what Monica is doing doesn't affect his job, and it hasn't so far, I'm fine. That's just something between him and his wife. Remember all that? Now we're getting that about the going number 2 in the pants. But it gets worse for Whoopi. Let me rewind it. Here we go. Whoopi, yesterday, live on The View, she is not being funny.
I'm just going to add my 2 cents because I wasn't here on the day that y'all talked about it. I don't care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence together. Show me he can't do the job, and then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time to go. Now, he had a bad night the first time that he went out and debated with Kamala Harris. And everybody wanted him to quit then, say you can't talk to women like this, or you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. He came back, said, you know what, I got it, and gave 4 years. So, yeah, I have poopy days all the time.
Really? So now we got a confession here. So she doesn't care if he goes number 2 in his pants. He's still doing a good job as president, she says. And she says she has these days, too, that she goes number 2 in her pants all the time, too. She has whole days where it happens. That's what Whoopi said. I don't hear any of the other ladies of the Coven of the View agreeing that they have those problems, too, though.
I have poopy days all the time. I step in so much poo you can't even imagine.
Wow. Does this happen to you? I must tell you, I've never had an incident like that. Now, maybe when I was a baby, but I'm talking about since I've been a grown-up, been, coherent, out of the diapers, I've never had these problems. Whoopi has lost control of her bowels, and it happens all the time.
4 years. So, yeah, I have poopy days all the time. I step in so much poo you can't even imagine. Now, I'm not running the world, but...
Wow.
Anybody who doesn't step in stuff at some point. So I'm just...
Wow, everyone she knows goes number 2 in their pants? Is she talking about the women on The View with her? Does Heather Navarro lose control of her bowels in her pants? She says everyone she knows has this problem. Really?
Simply saying, there are 2 debates. And if he can't do what he needs to do for the second debate, I'll join any crew that says get rid of him. But loyalty to me, if you are doing the job, I might not like everything you're doing. I don't like it all. But I'm going to stand behind you like those guys stand behind the guy who should have been the person people were talking about saying, yeah, Biden had a bad day, but this guy couldn't tell the truth if it split his lip. But nobody said that, but Anna said that.
Really, what did he say that wasn't true, Whoopi?
Or something.
Yet Anna Navarro, she's like, what are you going to me for? I don't go number 2 in my pants. Wait, oh my goodness. Shocking admission from The View. This new thing that they have, well, yeah, he goes number 2 in his pants, but is that interfering with his job? By the way, I appreciate the confirmation from Whoopi Goldberg that he went number 2 in his pants. Now, the question is, was this time in France what she was referring to, or was this the emergency on Air Force One coming back from Wisconsin Friday? Whoopi Goldberg is in the circle of people that know. Right? She had friends at that big fundraiser out in Hollywood. I don't know. She may have even been there. I don't know. But she had friends there. So her insider contacts, thank you, Whoopi Goldberg, for confirming what we suspected. But now we have a confirmation from Whoopi Goldberg. Maybe we should call her Poopy Goldberg now. Moving forward, I don't know. Oh boy, what a dumb admission she made. That Biden did go number 2 in his pants. But it doesn't interfere with his job. Really? You think when he's meeting with a NATO leader and they can smell that, you don't think that impacts that meeting? How does that not impact? In fact, you know, when you become incontinent, which is what she's saying, yeah, he's incontinent, so what? He's still doing a good job. That's a sign of severe physical and mental decline. Oh, man. All right, we're going to take our first break of the second hour. 18 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. 888-465-2631 is our toll-free number. We will be right back.
Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
Well, I treated your knee pain with laser.
I was just wait.
And no
Hold on a second.
I have robotic lasers that
No.
have a wonderful effect on joint pain.
Ed?
These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do. Shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis.
This is crazy town.
Bursitis, from the foot
We're in crazy town.
up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to ask you a question. How important is a good night's sleep, and when was the last time you got one? I get one each and every night with the MyPillow mattress stopper. They're 50% off now with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. Pair it with new pillows and those fabulous Giza Dream Sheets. There's huge discounts on those too. Free shipping on all orders over $75 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You'll thank me in the morning.
It's time to save more and savor more on unforgettable cruise vacations with Margaritaville at Sea. Upgrade your summer plans with free stateroom upgrades. Plus, buy one, get one guest fares on Bahamas and Caribbean cruises through 2025. Grab your best mate and get ready for unforgettable journeys filled with handcrafted cocktails, jaw-dropping entertainment, and deep blue ocean views. Now sailing easy breezy getaways from Palm Beach and Tampa Bay. Your upgraded adventure awaits on board Margaritaville at Sea. Claim your license to chill and this limited time free upgrade offer at margaritavillatSea.com.
Hi, I'm Sloan Smith. We love our Florida sunshine, but a hot house? Definitely not. At All Year, we offer the same day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year. We're South Florida's #1 for comfort because our family is serving your family all year. Call us today at 833 all year. That's 833 all year.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we're back. You know, that thing that Whoopi admitted to that's a bad thing to identify yourself as. I remember during the days, I don't remember the name of this guy, somebody may know, during the Celebrity Apprentice, which I never missed an episode of The Apprentice or the Celebrity Apprentice, but they had a season where on the Celebrity Apprentice with President Trump, they had a celebrity chef on who was from Australia. He's a blonde guy, he's from Australia, and he's still around. And they had a thing in the residence where the celebrities were, and he was in the bathroom, and the girls were complaining about how stinky the bathroom was every time he went. And he got into a big fight with them about this. It was on The Apprentice, and he had told them, he's like, I'm a chef, I'm a TV chef. You start talking about me like that on TV, it's going to stick with me. Well, that was like over 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that. Well, longer than 10 years ago, but at least 10 on The Apprentice. He's on TV still today, and every time I see him, I think about that stinky bathroom thing with him on The Celebrity Apprentice. And Whoopi Goldberg saying that she's incontinent and goes in her pants number 2 all the time. You know, leakage is a normal thing for older people, in particular women. Okay? A lot of women wear adult diapers, and sometimes men, but women have leakage issues. That's part of menopause, right? They don't go in their pants totally. They just drip, drip, drip throughout the day. It's a leakage thing. It's part of menopause. And a lot of women wear like adult diapers because of that, okay? Women that are much younger than you would realize. But they don't go number 2. And Whoopi, that's going to stick with her forever and ever and ever. Yeah. So Jean-Pierre, I want to get into this press conference with Jean-Pierre yesterday. This exchange with Jean-Pierre and the White House press corps, I think this was a guy from CBS. I could be wrong about the network. It's one of the liberal guys. They're all liberal, pretty much. It's the White House press corps. I'm going to play this exchange between Jean-Pierre and the White House press corps in a moment. This is the most hardcore, argumentative, confrontational exchange in the history of the White House press briefing between a member of the White House press corps and a press spokesperson for a Democrat president. Republican spokespeople have to deal with this garbage all the time. It never happens with Democrats. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, the press have been covering this up for 4 years. Where were they? Where were they? Who cares? They're doing the right thing now. Right? We're a few short months away from the most important election of any of our lifetimes. That's right. It's true. I know they always say that, but it's true this time. And the press are doing the right thing now. Let's not reprimand them. Okay? You know, I told you guys that if you have a Democrat friend who says they're voting for Trump, don't start debating abortion with them or something. Say, oh, that's awesome. Make them feel good. Don't get confrontational and turn them off. The press are doing the right thing now. You know, and I know Fox News is spending a lot of time attacking the White House press corps and CNN. This is just jealousy. They're just jealous, okay? They do not attack them for doing this. I know it was wrong that they were covering it up, but they're not now. And the liberal mainstream media, CNN and the White House press corps, are helping get Donald Trump reelected. Do you understand that? So why are we going to attack them for doing this? When it's all over and if they go back to their old ways, let's go after them. But right now, they're doing great work. They're helping us. They're helping Trump. They're helping America. Now, I looked at the clock. I'm going to take the break for the bottom of the hour. After the bottom of the hour break, okay, after the bottom of the hour break, I'm going to go through this exchange with Jean-Pierre and the White House press corps yesterday because it takes a little bit of time. It's going to take an entire segment to do it. And I want to break it down and talk about it and take your calls after. This is amazing because what came out, thanks to Laura Loomer's reporting over the weekend. Now, she's not being credited by anyone but me and her. She's, you know, but other than me, no one is crediting her. She broke this story that they have been sneaking a neurologist into the White House to meet with Biden to examine him. Okay? Now we find out he's a Parkinson's expert. And this exchange during the White House press briefing yesterday, the liberal press are getting very confrontational with Jean-Pierre for covering this up. And then she claims she's not covering anything up, that she's been fully transparent. She gaslights them, or at least attempts to gaslight them. And it gets hot, it gets heated, it gets crazy. We're going to go through it all when we get back. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. 2631. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. We'll be back right after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's The Steve Kane Show.
Oh, man. Wow.
Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now, 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779, and online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
La Bamba Restaurant, a family-owned authentic Mexican restaurant for 33 years. Come on in for a delicious taco salad, steak quesadilla, or a cold margarita. La Bamba is located at 730 U.S. Highway 1 in North Palm Beach. Check out labamba123.com.
This is John from Lighthouse Medical Center, CFO and Director of Neuropathy. We want to welcome you to Lighthouse Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. You have numbness, burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues, please come see us and let us help you with that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse.
We'll be back in 30 seconds. No, 45 seconds, I'm saying. 45 seconds.
For bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
Now is the best time when the market is challenged to consider copper, gold, silver, battery metals, clean tech, biotech, and AI equities. Listen to Money Talk Radio South Florida with me, Ellis Martin, 9:30 a.m. weekdays here on your true oldie station.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, we are back. 33 minutes after 7. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Okay, so it came out over the weekend that a couple of things. One, Biden's doctor is involved in shady financial deals with the Biden family through his scummy brother James. This is the doctor that's giving Joe Biden a clean bill of health all the time and saying nothing wrong. Comer's committee, the House Oversight Committee, is calling him to testify about this to Congress. Then, thanks to Laura Loomer, we find out that they have been sneaking a neurologist into the White House to examine Biden. And apparently, he's a donor, and they've been using that to sneak him in. Well, then we find out yesterday that the neurologist, who's an expert in Parkinson's, they've been sneaking him into the White House, and he's been examining Biden and meeting with Biden's personal physician every month for the past 8 months. And, you know, this isn't, obviously he's had problems for a long time, but in the last several months, there's been a major decline, right? That's why they called in the expert. And they've been hiding this from the public. Well, yesterday, the liberal White House press corps got very confrontational with Jean-Pierre for hiding this information from them. You know, when they hide information like this from them, it makes them look stupid. And their bosses get pissed, like, why didn't you know this, right? And Jean-Pierre, as opposed to telling the truth, decided to try to gaslight them and act as if she has been fully disclosing everything all along, and it did not go well. So let's go through this. Very brutal. So this is Jean-Pierre, liberal reporters, having her for lunch yesterday. Listen.
We provide to all of you.
It's a very basic, direct question.
Wait, hold on, wait.
You hear that? You hear that anger from the press corps? When is the last time you heard the press corps upset about a Democrat? I don't know if I ever have.
Provide to all of you.
It's a very basic, direct question.
Wait, hold on, wait a second.
Eight times, or at least once, in regards to the president specifically.
Hold on a second.
Not what you should be able to answer by this point.
Wait, no. No, wait a minute. Ed, please. A little respect here, please. So, every year, around the president's physical examination, he sees a neurologist. That's 3 times, right? So I am telling you...
Now we know it has been 8 times, so she lied yesterday.
That he has seen a neurologist 3 times while he has been in this presidency. That's what I'm saying. I am telling you that he has seen them 3 times. That is what I'm sharing with you, right? So every time he has a physical, he has had to see a neurologist. So that is answering that question. No, it is. It is. You're asking me.
Okay, now what she's doing here, Jean-Pierre, this is the gaslighting. She's trying to tell the media yesterday, meeting with a neurologist, a Parkinson's expert, this is just a normal part of every physical, and we've always disclosed he's had physicals, so we've disclosed this. No, a neurologist is not a normal part of an examination, certainly not monthly. No, it's not.
But I also said to you, Ed, I also said to you, for security reasons, we cannot share names.
Oh my goodness. So now she says, well, no, we've been telling you everything. We've been a little vague about it because of confidentiality. HIPAA laws do not apply to the President of the United States. This is an election year. This is the President of the United States. I've never seen things. Bill Clinton did not release his medical records when he was president. He was the first president to do that. People suspected, this is not a joke, that he had STD. Probably did. Okay? But this is a whole nother level. We're at a level now where they've been hiding the mental unfitness of the president. They've been sneaking in a specialist every month under the guise of maybe as a donor so that they could secretly examine him.
We cannot share names.
We have to. Others he would have met with.
We
You
cannot
can share names in regards to if someone came here in regards to
we
the
cannot
president.
We cannot share names of specialists broadly, from a dermatologist to a neurologist. We cannot share names. There are security reasons. We have to.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She's saying here that we don't even share if it's a dermatologist. Meeting with a dermatologist is not the same as meeting with a neurologist when you're talking about the President of the United States.
Dermatologist to a neurologist. We cannot share names. There are security reasons. We have to protect. I understand that. I hear you.
Right there for anyone to see.
Ed, I hear you. I cannot from here confirm any of that because we have to keep their privacy. I think they would appreciate that too. We have to give them. We have to keep their privacy.
It's public
I hear you.
Why do you have to keep the privacy of a doctor who's the private doctor of a president? Doctors love this to be known. It's good for their business. They're the doctor to the president of the United States. The only reason you don't disclose it is because the president is being examined monthly by a brain specialist, and you don't want the world to know that. This is really scary.
And you're not allowed to discuss their lawyer career unless the White House answers the
hold on a second. There's no reason to go back and forth with me in this aggressive way.
Miffed around here about how information's been shared with the press corps about him.
What do you missed about? What do you miss about?
Everything he just asked about.
And then every time I come back.
Now keep in mind, these are liberal reporters that are going at Jean-Pierre. This isn't Fox. This isn't Newsmax. It's not OAN. This is like CBS.
Answer the question that you guys asked.
Correctly, they have to come back and clean
I
up.
never answered the question incorrectly. That is not true. I was asked about a medical exam. I was asked about a physical. That was in the line of question that I answered. And I said, no, he did not have a medical exam. And I still stand by that. Matter of fact, the president still stands by that. He had a verbal check-in. That is something that the president has a couple times a week. A couple times a week.
Wait a minute. A couple times a week? How often is he getting examined? Let's go back.
And I said, no, he did not have a medical exam. And I still stand by that. Matter of fact, the president still stands by that. He had a verbal check-in. That is something that the president has a couple times a week.
Who has a check-in with their doctor a couple times a week? You know who? A sick person. Everybody else says, we'll see you in 6 months. We'll see you in a year. If you're checking in every week, there's a problem. They're doing phone appointments. And the reason they're doing phone appointments is to avoid the visitor logs. And so far as these phone check-ins, I'd like to know whose phone is it? It's obviously probably not an official White House phone. Is it Hunter's cell? Is it Jill's cell? Is it a phone that's not a part of the public record? They're obviously, this is amazing. They're doing phone appointments with doctors to avoid records of the doctor's visits.
A couple times a week.
Now in regards to Dr. Kevin Kennard.
And I am telling you right now that I am not sharing, confirming names from here. It is the security reasons. I am not going to do that, Ed. It doesn't matter how hard you push me. It doesn't matter how angry you get with me. I'm not going to confirm a name. It doesn't matter if it's even in the log. I am not going to do that from here. That is not something I am going to do. What I can share with you is that the president has seen a neurologist for his physical 3 times.
Now, and again, now we know it is 8 times, once a month for the last 8 months.
3 times. And it is in the reporting that we share a comprehensive reporting. Matter of fact, it's more than what the last guy shared, and it is in line with what George W. Bush did.
She can say George W. Bush's name, but not Trump's. Notice that, huh?
In line with what Obama did. And so it is comprehensive. It is out there. I just read a quote from it, but I am not going to divulge somebody's name or confirm someone. I'm not going to do that. That is as privacy for that person. I'm not going to do that. It doesn't matter how hard you push me. It doesn't matter how angry you get with me from here. I'm just not going to do that. It is inappropriate. It is not acceptable.
Okay. Now, this is astounding. So they have been hiding from the public that the president has been seeing a specialist every month for the last 8 months, at least 8 times, once a month. There's these phone appointments now that she dropped we didn't know about that may not be a part of the record. And these doctors, both his personal physician and the neurologist, have been signing off that he is mentally fit. Isn't there some type of oversight like the American Medical Association? You know, like lawyers have the Bar Association. Are there not people, since they are licensed doctors, that they have to answer to? This story that came out of the physician being involved in financial dealings with the Biden family, these doctors, are they being paid off? Are they being bribed? Are these doctors being paid to give a clean bill of health to a very sick man? And so far as this doctor-patient confidentiality, that does not apply at this level to the President of the United States. But with Donald Trump, they've been locking up his lawyers. I thought there was lawyer-client confidentiality. If there isn't lawyer-client confidentiality, why should all of a sudden in this campaign there be doctor-patient confidentiality? Things are getting worse. It's only just begun. I've only scratched the surface of what we have today. But this crisis that this country is in, the White House, no matter who the president has been, has never been in a crisis like this. This is much bigger than... Watergate is jaywalking, okay? Jaywalking. Compared to what's going on right now. Because what we found out about this doctor is there's a big conspiracy at the White House to cover this up. Now Jean-Pierre's a part of it. We thought it was just the immediate family, right? Now Jean-Pierre has been part of this conspiracy to conceal the mental health status of the president, and she's been hiding the fact that he's been meeting with brain specialists every month for the last 8. This is frightening. Now I want to ask you this. Do you or someone you know suffer from neuropathy? We don't keep the doctors confidential here. We tell you, Lighthouse Medical Center. They have a treatment for neuropathy that works. Neuropathy is a god-awful thing. It is pain. It is suffering. It's really, if it's not, it should be an official disability, neuropathy. The numbness, the pain, the burning, the tingling in the hands and feet, the muscle weakness, the dizziness, the twitching, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet, no feeling at all in the hands and feet. It is awful. It is miserable. So many people with neuropathy are bedridden for the rest of their lives because their doctors, even their neurologists, like the ones that's secretly seating Biden, will say there's no treatment for neuropathy. That is not true. Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano, which is celebrating their 75th year in practice with the same family of physicians in Pompano, 75 years, that's amazing. They have a treatment for neuropathy that works. I've seen it work with many of our listeners and Steve Kane. Give them a call. Make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. You can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. Okay? Also, no matter where you're located, in Florida or America, they can help you. Even if you can't make it into the office, Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy. Here's their number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. You know, a lot of times family members call and take their family members, take mom, dad, their husband, their wife in, their aunt, their uncle. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. That's lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Are you living your best life? Are you feeling the way you know you should be? This is John, CFO at Lighthouse Medical Center. Our hormone optimization therapy programs have helped so many people get back to feeling the way they did in their 20s. They're full of energy after a long day, reduced their risk of heart disease, sexual vigor and excitement are great, sleeping the way they should without disturbances, and reducing their symptoms of aging. Our all-natural hormone optimization therapy is precise, easy, and effective from day one. Office visits are usually less than 5 times per year, and the cost is only $150 per month for most patients. Let our medical team get you optimized and living your best life. Our family medical practice has been serving South Florida for over 71 years. Let us show you what personalized medical care and being treated like family feels like. Call us at 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. Or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
And now a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales. Save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal.
From a political survival perspective, would it make sense for Joe Biden to do Congress? 100% absolutely yes. I think that
plus a 30%
reassure people that there's not anything more going on. He would help bolster his. It was one bad night regarding the debate argument. I think it would show people he's open and transparent in a way that I'll say that Donald Trump really has not been.
It's given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks, easier than ordering a pizza.
New tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Okay. You know, a lot of what they focus in on about Trump is, oh, he's a threat to democracy. He won't leave. How do we know he's going to leave when his term's up, right? He wants to be a dictator. He did it once before, right? When his, right? Remember that? You want to talk about a threat to democracy and not leaving. Look at Biden. He's obviously gone. His supporters are admitting that they're sneaking in neurologists to examine him. His supporters are saying and admitting that he has lost control of his bowels. There's a crisis going on. Now, there's going to be a press conference with him this week. Listen to this. This is Kirby yesterday. That's Kirby. The president will be having a big boy press conference. Now, that's an interesting thing. See, Kirby, what is that all about? Have you ever heard big boy press conference being used to describe a press conference with any president of the United States? And this is going to be a press conference with, like, many questions. Usually they allow 2 or 3. It's going to be an open press conference with Biden and a foreign leader. I forgot who. But Kirby referred to it as a big boy press conference. Okay, and this is so revealing. Kirby is a deep state operative. This guy is a weirdo, and he's very well connected. He used to be an admiral. He resigned from the Navy and then was the senior spokesperson for the Pentagon. And now he's got his job duties at the White House are very confusing. Does he work in the press office or is he an advisor to the president? They're very confusing. But Kirby is at the White House not as a political appointee like Jean-Pierre. He's a representative of the deep state. And the deep state are the ones that have been working to bring down Biden. That's how this debate happened at CNN. See, I hear a lot of people talking, and they're like, well, this CNN debate revealed this to the world. The CNN debate was set up to bring Biden down by the deep state. We talked about this, it was 10 days ago. We talked about it the next day, on that Friday after, okay? And proof of that is, go back and watch the debate after 9 o'clock. Don't do it now. Go back and watch the debate. Jake Tapper and Dana Bash were very appropriate with Trump. They didn't give him a hard time about much of anything. Everything was directed about Biden. It was that debate was set up to bring down Biden by the deep state. We talked about this, right? CIA, Dana Bash, all that stuff. Kirby calling it a big boy press conference. A big boy is what you say to a child, and oftentimes when people get very, very old and they suffer from major cognitive decline and they become incontinent, well, as Biden is, this is all stuff that's in the news in the last day. They start to treat that person like a child. And Kirby, when he referred to that as a big boy press conference, was not an accident. He's part of the deep staters bringing down Biden. And Kirby and the deep state are hoping that this press conference is going to be a disaster. How could it not be? Everything Biden has done since that debate has made it worse. Let me pull this. I wasn't going to play this, but I'm going to. The interview with Joe Scarborough, I have it here somewhere. I might have to play it coming up after the top of the hour. I don't have it queued up. But he did the interview with Stephanopoulos. That was a disaster. He did the phone interview with the black radio stations. That was a disaster. He did this interview with Scarborough, which I'll pull up. That was a disaster. This press conference with Jean-Pierre yesterday, a complete disaster. How is this big boy press conference going to be anything other than a complete disaster? Now, Trump said last night to Hannity that Joe's staying in it. He's not going to drop out. And what his position is, and he's got a very solid position with this, unless they invoke the 25th Amendment. His position is he won the primaries. And since he won the primaries, he's got the delegates, and he's not going anywhere. And that's going to stick. Because now they're saying, okay, I found the Scarborough stuff, which I'll pull up in a bit, but what they're reporting is that by the end of the week, the congressional Democrats will have met, and they're going to have a plan to remove him from the nomination process. They're calling it a mini primary, but what they're really talking about is a brokered convention. Well, Joe's just not going to go along with that. Let me play this. This was Biden on the phone yesterday being interviewed by Scarborough.
Any age-related illnesses, pre-Parkinson's, or anything like that, that might explain sort of having a night like that where you couldn't finish sentences.
Look, I had before, I was feeling so badly before.
Okay, see, he doesn't, so he's lying here, because this was before the mainstream media knew that he had been meeting with this neurologist. And Mika was being very specific, asking him about meeting with the neurologist, and he just brushed right by it.
For any
Listen.
illnesses, pre-Parkinson's, or anything like that, that might explain sort of having a night like that where you couldn't finish sentences.
Look, I had before, I was feeling so badly before the debate. When I came back, they tested me for, I thought maybe I had COVID, maybe there was something wrong, I had an infection or something. They tested me, they gave me those tests, I was clear. So, but look, I had a bad night. But the fact of the matter is, look at what I'm doing. I mean, let me put it this way. If there was something that was wrong that night, it's not like it comes and that's one night and goes away. That's why I've been out. I've been testing myself, been testing everywhere I go, going out and making the case. The night of that debate, I went out. I was out till 2 o'clock in the morning that very night. That very night, it drives me nuts, people talking about this. That very night, I'm talking to large crowds. Look at the crowds we've gathered everywhere.
There he goes. Now he's thinking that he thought he had COVID, and he keeps going back to COVID. Then this is another. This is Mika, Joe, and Biden yesterday.
Nobody said anything except me and the folks out there in the local, race. He said I did nothing to stop Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In fact, he said I think I encouraged Russia from going. I think he encouraged Russia going in. I mean, I'm reading from the list of lies.
Okay, now this clip of the interview, I'm not sure how well you can hear it, but a lot of people have listened to this and analyzed this, and what you got here is the ruffling of papers in the background. You hear the ruffling of the papers in the background? He's reading. All this talk of a scripted interview, they fired that black radio host in Philadelphia because it was scripted. This interview is scripted. Mika and Joe are asking him questions. You hear Joe shuffle papers where he's going to the answers to the questions. Are they going to be held accountable? They just did a scripted interview. This poor woman at the Philadelphia radio station, she's out of work. What about this? Joe and Mika, that is a scripted interview. If you're on hold, stand by. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. Much more after this.
WSFS 104.3.
Hello? Hello? Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Okay, I thought so. Hold on.
From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for
Steve, are you there?
service and installation.
Steve. You there, Steve?
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family
Try again.
all year long.
Steve, you there? Hey, Mike, I don't think Steve's connected on the Comrex because I can't hear him. Let's see. It's not signed in because unless he put the mic down, unless he stepped away during the break because I can't. Let me know if he's connected because there's no one signed in. Does it have to be signed in to work? No. He's connected. Okay, must have stepped away.
Yeah. At least everything's going as it should.
Steve, you there?
Oh wait, no, the phone should fire. Yeah, it should be okay.
Casino table game area with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum. PBKC is your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
You there, Steve? Oh. No, they haven't texted back yet. All right.
Give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to JupiterJoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's
Steve, you there?
Retirement Know-It-All. Great book.
You there?
561-743-0999. Or, remember, go to JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
Hello, this
You there, Steve?
Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years.
You there?
In the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire
I asked if they
repairs
were
at very low
muted.
prices. Give me a call.
You there, Steve?
954
I can hear something now. Okay, you there?
445. I will give you a price over the
I can hear
phone
myself.
on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Can you hear me, Steve? I can't hear him.
One of those big labs. That's why I go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be
Okay.
the lowest
They're trying to connect.
find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab
She's
tests
rebooting.
around.
Okay.
These are the only two advertising on our radio station, so don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All right, callers on hold. Stand by. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We're going to check in with Scott. Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to tell you how he can save you boatloads of money on your electric bill from now and forever. Scott, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Brian. I woke up this morning and a gentleman from Oakland Park called me, and we talked, and I quoted him, and we're going to go out and do his house on Thursday.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, that's great. You know, it's hot. It's hot in Florida all the time. Can you tell people what radiant barrier is, how it works, and what it does?
Radiant barrier is basically like an aluminum foil tarp that goes on the inside of your attic. It gets stapled to the bottom of the roof trusses, and it reflects all the heat back up out the roof. So it literally lowers the temperature in the attic 30 or 40 degrees, the ambient temperature. Now, what's even more important is it stops the radiant heat wave that comes off of your roof, because your roof gets very hot, you know, it's sometimes a couple hundred degrees, and that forces like a radiant heat wave down into your house and just literally cooks you from up top. So the aluminum foil tarp on the inside of the roof, the radiant barrier, reflects that whole heat wave right back up out the roof. So it stops your insulation from getting hot. It stops your ceilings from getting hot. It stops your ductwork from heating up in your attic. It's a game changer. If you put this in a house or a garage that has no air conditioning, it literally lowers the temperature in the house or garage 10 or 15 degrees. So if your power went out, your house would be 10 or 15 degrees cooler just because the radiant barrier was in. Okay? People love the garages after. You know, we always have to do the garage because it's part of the house roof, and you got to do the whole entire roof. So people are like, "Wow, my garage is amazing now. It's so cool out there without any air." And you know, it just.
And you know what that does is, you know, when you turn your air on, it's got to cool everything off in your house. And you know, I know most people, Scott, they have I call it the hot room. There's always a room in the house that's hotter than the rest of the house. With radiant barrier, that's not an issue anymore.
Yeah, and that especially works really good on two-story houses too, because their upstairs is always hotter than their downstairs. So radiant barrier, that moderates the temperature of the whole house. But the reason they usually have the hot room is because it's on the south side of the house, the west side of the house. You know, it's getting hit by the sun over there.
Yeah.
Really hard. And when you put the radiant barrier in, it reflects that out. It evens that all out.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Now, Scott, you've been with us here on the show how many years?
I think 15 years now.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
My first advertising, I got my first jobs when I first started the business, when I left the guys that were ripping everyone off, charging them $2-3 a foot for this. You know, I basically put it in for about $1 a foot with all the savings. You know, which it's, you know, just I'm the wholesale guy, factory direct. You know, the people that sell it, you know, the solar companies, the AC, they're taking my price and double.
So, Scott, 15 years, time really flies. I can't believe it's been that long. I remember when we first met. Scott from Cut My Kilowatts joins us every summer because that's when it's the hottest of the hot here in sunny South Florida. And been with us for 15 years, and he does great work. Now, you're offering a special deal to our listeners. Can you tell people what that is?
Basically, if you're doing radiant barrier and you have a house over 2,000 square feet, you get an additional $500 off. If you have a house over 4,000, you get an additional $1,000 off. If you do radiant barrier and insulation together, basically you get both products for $1 a square foot.
That's a great deal. Yeah.
Radiant barrier is normally $1.39 a foot, and insulation is normally $1.19. So it's a savings of like 20 to 40%.
It's amazing.
On the radiant barrier and 20% on the insulation. And I'm doing high quality work with really high quality materials and beautiful work. My son's been working with me since he's 6, and he's 18 now, and he runs the crew. And Ryan is just an amazing kid. He's little, in all the tight places, and he really gets.
Absolutely. All right, now you can call or text Scott from Cut My Kilowatts directly. Scott, can you give everyone your number?
Yep, 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. And literally, a gentleman named Tom from Oklahoma texted me at 6 o'clock this morning, and I got right on the phone with him, and we got to going and got him scheduled for...
Oh, man, 6 a.m. There you go. So give him a call or text Scott at 954-939-1500. All right, Scott, we will talk later in the week.
God bless you, and God bless America.
All right, absolutely. Take care. You heard that? Go Trump, he said at the end. Absolutely. All right, let's go to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jay from Jersey.
Oh, hey, Jay.
I just wanted to say, you were talking, you know, I know y'all are talking about Biden and his decline or whatever y'all want to call it.
Well, Whoopi Goldberg says he poops his pants.
No, I didn't hear all of that.
No.
But you know what I'm trying to tell you is all what you're doing is helping.
They said they got it working now.
Explain to you why. Because number one.
Oh, no, he's gone.
Joe Biden
he's gone till the 21st.
Let someone else go instead of him. And the fact that nobody wants Joe Biden nor wants Trump, and if you keep doing what you're doing and keep promoting the fact that Joe got problems, then we can get Joe out and get somebody new in. So basically, you're helping us out.
Okay.
I actually do want Joe, but listen to this though. Want Joe to let someone else, not Kamala Harris, someone else come and run against.
Wait a minute. Slow down. So Jay from Jersey, you got a problem with black women? Why don't you want Kamala Harris?
I want Kamala Harris. I just know that you racist people don't want Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris would do fine for me.
Really?
Somebody who's going to put their foot up, you know, what's the name, behind. Kamala Harris can be good, but you know, there's so many racist people out here, they're not going to vote for her. So no use of putting another person that's going to run against Trump that's not going to get voted.
Well, okay. So I want you hold on. I want to slow down because this is an interesting thing about Kamala Harris. I don't support her because she's incompetent, but can you give me an example of something that she has accomplished, something she's good at, other than having sex with married men, like she did with Willie Brown?
I'm not.
Can't think of anything. Can't think of anything she's good at.
I'm interested.
I see.
You're helping us get.
Oh, good. Yes.
Someone else in.
Great.
By you keep promoting, telling the crazy news.
You really think this reverse psychology is going to work? We're going to say, oh, Jay from Jersey says we're helping him out. We better stop doing this.
Let me ask you.
Oh, my goodness.
I believe that Biden should go out. Let me explain something else to you. That debate, Biden didn't do good.
No.
Trump didn't do good either.
Oh, no, Trump. That was the biggest. Oh, and that's not true. In fact, President Trump, I'm going to explain it to you. President Trump's debate performance was the biggest defeat ever given to an opponent, and I'll tell you why. Never before, after a presidential debate, has there been a nationwide call for one of the people in the debate to drop out. Never heard this before. Donald Trump did such a great job in that debate, even Democrats are like you are calling for Biden to drop out.
And now, before I know you're getting ready to hang up on me. Listen.
Oh, yeah.
Bad job in that debate. But let me explain something to you. Trump did not do a good debate. Let me explain to you why. Number one, they said they went over and counted who lied. Biden lied 8 times. Trump lied 30.
Really? What did he lie about?
Count him.
No, you just said he lied 39 times. What are the lies that he told?
I'm not a person that can sit down and tell you.
Well, you call him a liar. Don't you think you should be able to share one of the lies?
A survey. Everything he said was a lie.
Give me an example. Tell me one of the lies. Tell me one of the lies.
He was like a big dumb nut standing up there.
Okay, tell me. You know what? The president's in town because he's got a rally here in Miami today. He may be listening. Maybe share one of the lies. Maybe Trump will hear you.
Say he's in town. He's out of Jersey. Do you know that I'm only 15 minutes away from him where he stays?
Uh-huh. Okay. So tell me one of the lies. Tell me one of the lies. He told 39 lies.
There was a lie.
Well, pick one of them.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. You going to let me tell you, or you going to hang up on me?
Well, we're up against a break, but go ahead.
Well, this is, okay, I'm going to tell you one of the lies. Trump said racist people was walking down the street with the torches and the SWAT stickers, and the woman got...
SWAT stickers? What's a SWAT sticker?
You know what I mean? No.
You said a SWAT sticker. Like the police?
Okay, listen. Now, you said you're up against the break.
Yeah.
That situation, when they was walking down the street with the torches and everything, Trump said that didn't happen. It did not.
No, he didn't say anything like that. All right, listen, you're right. I am going to hang up on you. He didn't say anything like that. But I do have to hang up on you. We are late for the break. If you would have been forthcoming when I first asked, we wouldn't have had to hang up. We could have had a discussion, but Trump didn't say anything. You just made that up. I love how they keep saying he lies however many times, but they never tell you what the lies are. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Okay. Steve, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hold on. What's that?
I can hear you, but not in the headset.
Well, then how are you hearing me?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, I'll go to you when we get back.
All right.
Right. It's been such an honor to be, affiliated, working with you and Steve for so many years. I don't even know how long it's been since I've...
Yeah, he's out until the 21st. Yeah, 20.
But one of the things I was thinking about...
Yeah.
Through all these years, all the people who've come in, and I'm just talking about the Medicaid right now, not even the estate planning, but just on the Medicaid. I mean, with the Medicaid planning, we're helping people avoid the cost of long-term care. And if we were to add up the amount of money that people have saved, all these families over the years, we have to be talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars that people have saved, not spending down assets, going to the nursing homes, and instead they've been able to protect those assets so that those assets can be used for the care of the person, whether it's upgrading to private rooms, if they're in a nursing home, having private duty aid, and just having that peace of mind that they have the assets and not spend down. And we talk many times about what happened to my grandmother, where she had to spend down her assets, and we didn't know about Medicaid planning. So, we're very proud that we've been able to protect so much in assets for so many families over the years.
That's right, and the Siegel Law Group, no matter where you're located in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. And if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, it is a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. You can find them online at SiegelLawGroup.com or give them a call toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782. And the Siegel Law Group have offices from Dade County all the way up to North Palm Beach as well. But you can also meet with them over video calls, Zoom, etc., etc. Again, toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk later in the week.
All right, I'll look forward to it. Thank you, Brian.
Okay.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All right. We are back. Callers on hold, stand by. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're there. You're there. We got you. We got you. Boy, oh boy, so much has happened. President Trump has a rally in Miami today. Gates open at 2 if you're going. I'd get there early. That Miami traffic gets pretty rough not long after 2. So if you're going, you want to get there early. If you're on hold, stand by. I wanted to play this clip I played earlier of Whoopi Goldberg. Did you hear this, Steve? This is, this is Whoopi Goldberg on The View yesterday, making very strange admissions.
I have my 2 cents because I wasn't here on the day that y'all talked about it. I don't care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence together. Show me he can't do the job, and then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time to go.
Wow. So if he goes number 2 in his pants and he can't speak in complete sentences, that's fine with her. Just show her that he can't do his job. Well, if that doesn't show that he can't do his job, I don't know what does, Steve. But then, this. But then it gets worse. She makes a strange admission.
The day that y'all talked about it. I don't care if he's pooped his pants.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't care if he can't put a sentence together. Show me he can't do the job. And then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time to go. Now, he had a bad night the first time that he went out and debated with Pamela.
The confession's coming up.
Quit that and say you can't talk to women like this, or you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. He came back, said, you know what, I got it, and gave 4 years. So, yeah, I have poopy days all the time.
Wow. So she goes number 2 in her pants all the time, Whoopi Goldberg just admitted, right, Liz?
I step in so much poo you can't even imagine.
Why am I not shocked?
Now, I'm not running the world, but I don't know anybody who doesn't step in stuff at some point.
Okay, so she says everyone she knows goes number 2 in their pants. Now, notice how silent the women of the Joy Behar, Anna Navarro, you don't hear. No, they're not. But is she saying that all the women of The View go number 2 in their pants all the time? Yeah, I mean, my goodness. I mean, you want to talk about revealing things on the air. That was totally behind the scenes there. The women of The View go number 2 in their pants all the time, according to Whoopi Goldberg.
Go number 2.
All the time, in their pants. Oh, my goodness. You know what it reminded me? This is what I was talking about earlier, Steve. This thing, yeah, he goes number 2 in his pants, but he can still do the job. It was like during Bill Clinton. Yeah, he's having sex with 25-year-old girls, but he's doing a good job. Remember that? Oh, my goodness. What would you rather have? Bill Clinton having sex with 25-year-old interns in the Oval Office, or a president that goes number 2 in his pants and can't put a sentence together?
I
take the first.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I would too. Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, my goodness. All right, you want to take some calls? What do you want? All right. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Greg from Boulder.
Oh, hey, Greg.
Hey, yes. Good morning, gentlemen. Listen, first of all, Whoopi Goldberg and Jay, they're both retarded, obviously. I mean, they're sitting there like, oh, it's okay if he can't form sentences. He's just doing his job or, going in his pants. It's absurd. But you know what? I think this is the time for Republicans to seize the opportunity. I think, number one, a president should have to give a press conference at least once a month, open to the press, so we can know what's going on. Because Biden hid from the press, many other presidents have, and also, how about every 6 months, a formal checkup with an appointed physician?
Well, I can tell you, you know where this one is going from here? I can tell you where it's going from here. It's going to Congress.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to...
Steve, Comer is demanding that Biden's doctor testify and explain himself in front of the House Oversight Committee. And it turned out that his primary doctor is involved in shady business deals with the Biden family. Yeah.
Right. Listen, it's crazy. And by the way, John Pierre got caught in such a lie.
Oh, yes.
Conference with unbelievable. She said, first of all, remember, Biden said, I didn't even meet with the doctor. It was like a telephone check-in. But now he's COVID tested, too, right? COVID tested, or were you phone check-in?
I can't wait to find out what kind of business arrangement she has arranged with.
The doctor has some type of business arrangement going on with the brother, James, his scummy brother, and it has something to do with that loan payback that Joe. Remember, Joe gave James $200,000, and then James immediately gave the money. It was a very weird thing. But this specialist, this neurologist that they've been sneaking in. They've been sneaking him under the guise of being a donor, so he was off the official visitors list. There's This is a
nightmare. And by the way, Jay, Republicans care about our country and the well-being. We want a leader that is mentally fit to lead our country. We're not looking, we have this, we should be doing this because it will not get him elected. No, it's the right thing to do. This man should not be president of the United States.
Greg, I want to ask you an important question. Are you doing okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Because we're agreeing. You and I, we're all agreeing here. This is so strange. I don't know that's how bad it is. That's how bad it is.
I'll have to take that's exactly right. I'll have to take my temperature, Brian.
Greg, I want to get back to this thing, though, with Whoopi Goldberg, she said that I don't care if he goes number 2 in his pants. He's better than Trump. I mean, that's a real low bar.
Listen, Whoopi Goldberg is out in left field. I mean, Jay is out in left field. All these Democrats are reeling right now. Did you listen to the entire interview with Mika and Joe?
Yes, I did. It was
great.
Let me play this clip here. This was it. I believe, and I'm not joking here, I think he did the interview from the bathroom. It was on the phone. It was very echoey. And this clip here, he's talking to Joe and Mika, and then all of a sudden he shouts out this weird word. Listen, this is Biden on the phone with Joe Scarborough live on MSNBC. Oh, hold on, I got to turn it on. Let me rewind it. There we go. Here we go.
Yes, sir. With the look,
hear that?
Prime Minister.
He yells out Diaga. Listen.
With the look, the country, the rest of the world.
What's that about? The yelling out Diaga.
I haven't even heard such a word. And by the way, did they follow up and say, Mr. President?
No.
What does that exactly mean you just said?
Well, my first thought was I listened to the whole interview, and it sounds like he's in the bathroom. Listen, we're on in the mornings. Half the audience is in the bathroom, and I'm sure people. And I can tell when someone calls us from the bathroom. I just don't highlight it. My first thought was he was straining to get it out on the toilet. Richie called in the first hour, and I thought he made a good point. He said he thinks he may have had like a slight seizure during the interview, and it's like a Tourette's kind of reaction, just throwing out a meaningless word. This neurologist that they've snuck in once a month for the past 8 months to examine him, and then we find out there's been phone appointments to avoid the White House visitors log. This country is in a major crisis right now, and President Trump said last night on Hannity that Biden's not going anywhere.
And I agree with that. Listen, He's going all in, Biden. He's not leaving that office. Jill is not letting him leave. But my question is, the American people finally are cognizant of what's going on, and they don't want him in office either. So he's going to either be removed. Do you think he's going to be removed prior to the convention?
No, the Biden position it's a very solid position, by the way. He said he won the primary. He's got the delegates. So what Biden's position is I've got the people on my side. And what he told Joe and Mika,
it's for the first round.
Well, there's only been a first round. We haven't gone past that since like 1918. You know?
Who competed against Biden? Who was running against him?
No one. He ran unopposed. But that's his position.
So of course he won it, right?
Exactly. He ran unopposed.
Election late. Exactly. Well, listen, gentlemen, you have a good day, and it's good to be on the same page.
Okay. All right. Take care. Callers on hold. Stand by. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast. Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Monroe from the Oldies Weather Service. Today is July 9th, 2024, and right now it's 78 degrees, and it'll reach about 91 as the highest today. It's going to be a cloudy one day, and about a 55% chance of rain throughout the day, so just in case, bring an umbrella with you, and make sure you stay dry for the rest of your Tuesday morning. Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
After the church visit, the
Select battery 2-pack. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/10 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Palm Beach Kennel Club offers exciting OTB action from top horse tracks around the country, including Saratoga Racetrack, starting this week. Visit our incredible paddock restaurant with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. And check out the upcoming dinner shows, including Rat Pack Now, August 23rd, plus the Pure Zeppelin Experience, October 11th, Let It Be, November 8th, and more. Go to ppkennelclub.com.
Contracting, roofing, and building restoration. I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have
Carpet Remnant Room. For the best selection, visit us soon in Jupiter at the corner of Indiantown Road and alternate A1A next to Publix, in Stewart on Monroe Street and Federal Highway, and Will Floor, the letter U, FLA.com. Will Floor, your hometown floor store that has it all.
Attention seniors, are you not happy with your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, iwilladvisors.com. When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Now, to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years.
All right, we're back. Call us on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. Now, during the break, you heard this commercial with Richie the bus driver for Dr. Gupta, our dentist. You know, Richie lives in St. Lucie County. He goes from St. Lucie County through Martin County, through Palm Beach County to Broward County to see Dr. Gupta. You know, we have great listeners, and Steve and I are very blessed to have you guys. You know, I was talking to Tom Laporta this morning, Steve. We have a nice listener. It's hurricane season. But one of our listeners, Annie, lives in Deltona, which is north of Orlando. And she called up Tom Laporta, and he's handling her roof. I mean, you know, we're very lucky. Our listeners, they support. Yeah, absolutely. So Annie in Deltona, thanks so much. Richie the bus driver, thank you so much. And all of you that use our sponsors, because that's what makes this show possible. That's exactly right. All right, now call us on hold, stand by. You know, there's an old thing in politics when it's over for someone, there's many different tells. But one of them is, there's many different things that run people out of campaigns. But the biggest one is when they become an object of ridicule. There have been examples of this. The Dukakis in a tank is the most textbook example that everyone knows historically. He looked like an idiot with that tank helmet on, and he was a little tiny guy, Dukakis. He looked like Billy Barty, right, and going around in that tank, and that was it for him. There's been other examples. But Biden has become an object of ridicule as well over his cognitive decline, and the people ridiculing him are his own supporters. This is in Philadelphia. Biden went to Philadelphia the other day, and the local news, CBS News, Channel 3 in Philadelphia, went to Biden campaign headquarters, where he was expected to possibly stop by. Let me play this clip. And they interview one of the campaign workers, a young African-American gentleman, about Joe Biden stopping by. Listen.
Church visit, the president made his way to a field campaign office in Manayunk, where volunteers were surprised to find out he was visiting.
Oh, is he coming here? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's dope. I hope he's awake for it.
Wow, that's one of his own campaign workers. I hope he's awake for the stop. And he laughs. That's it. You know, when you got your... it goes quick. Let's listen.
To a field campaign office in Manayunk, where volunteers were surprised to find out he was visiting.
Oh, is he coming here? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's dope. I hope he's awake for it.
Wow. I mean, that's one of his campaign workers at the Philly field office. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Eric from New Jersey.
Hey, Jersey.
Yeah, I was calling about that last Jersey caller, the Smooth Brain guy.
Jay from Jersey, yes, the guy that lives with Mom.
Yeah, well, I'm 62 years old, veteran for Trump. And let me tell you, every time they say he lies, I do the same thing. I say, so what lie is it? And the first thing they go to is that Charlottesville thing.
Mm-hmm.
And and I tell him, okay, so did you see the whole speech that he made on it and how he defended the people that were mad about the statue coming down, not the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists? He denounced them many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
And I still can't believe that this guy says that he lied 39, 40 times. It's just a bunch of crap. I saw that. And every day.
Yeah. Yeah, and they also tell the one about, he said, and I'm not talking about the racist or the white supremacist. They should be condemned, and I condemn them. But they usually don't get that far. Like Jay from Jersey didn't even have that.
No, so I'll sit there and I'll tell them exactly what Trump has done while he was in office, and they all look shocked.
Yes.
Like they've heard it before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Opportunity zones, the Abraham.
Now let me ask you. Whoopi Goldberg says she doesn't care if Biden goes number 2 in his pants as long as he does the job. She does it all the time, and everyone she knows goes number 2 in their pants. Do you do that, caller from Jersey? Do you go number 2 in your pants all the time, like Whoopi Goldberg says?
No.
No, I don't either. No.
No. Well, you're talking to a person that has the brain the size of a walnut anyway, so.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate the call from Jersey. Take care, yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bruce from Lake Worth.
Hey, Bruce.
Hey. 2 points. One is, when you listen to Jean-Pierre, she says, hey, how about a little respect here? Well, how about a little respect? What's that?
Yeah.
Respect. How about a little respect here for the American people? That's the biggest problem with this nest of vipers. They have no respect for anybody in this country. They do whatever they want. They couldn't care less. My second point is, did we just hear Whoopi Goldberg admit that she's full of it?
And then she empties it out on herself quite often. And I like, then she rubs her feet in it. I mean, this is crazy talk. And she says everyone she knows does this, which I assume means her co-hosts like Joy Behar and Anna Navarro. They also go number 2 in their pants and walk in it.
I believe Joy Behar does.
If there's no way I would have let that fly. If you did that to me, everybody I knew, I say, well, not me. I would correct it. I wouldn't let that fly on the air. And they just sat there in silence. There's only 2 things I can take from that. Either they all do as she says, or they're terrified of Whoopi.
They're terrified of Whoopi. They don't want to challenge her. That.
Yeah, that would be my bet too. She's had a resurgence in her acting career. She's got a new movie coming out, and she's a big shot again. I don't know why. All right, take care. Let's see here. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Terry from Florida. Hey, Trump do lie, man. Why you lying? Why you saying Trump don't lie when he lie all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Everything come out of his mouth is a lie.
Oh, okay.
He was saying that.
Hey, wait, hold on a second.
He said the white supremacists.
Hey,
were fine.
Making fun of my black listeners with that phony accent you put.
Yeah.
All right. I know phony when I hear it. All right. Why do you feel it's necessary to make fun of black people on the phone with talking with that phony accent?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's the accent.
Did you hear that, Steve? This regular voice is coming back.
I'm black, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but you're talking. No. But you're overdoing. I give an you're overdoing the ghetto thing. I give you an example. We used to. We can do whatever we want. You're just a caller. We host the show. Okay, we can do whatever we want. Okay, like this. Goodbye. Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? Remember that Caribbean radio show where the guy had the Caribbean, and Jean Jabouin, and Jean Jabouin had a very heavy Caribbean accent, and then one day he forgot and he had a perfect American accent. Remember that? He was faking the accent. Yes. All right. Goodbye. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Steve. Brian, how are you? Hey, that's great detective work, you guys. I think you're right on with him. Just 2 quick points. They keep saying that Trump lied in this debate with Joe Biden. Trump doesn't have to lie to take Biden down. Biden, in his best day ever, could not go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump.
Well, and also, look, hold on. This is an important point, okay? What they're trying to do is divert. That debate has nothing to do with the substance of the debate. The takeaway from that debate is the cognitive decline of Joe Biden and the mental fitness of the candidates. What was said about the issues is irrelevant, and I know they want to try to frame it that way, but it's not important. Listen, we're up against a break, but you made a good point. Thanks so much. Now, I want to tell everyone about... Oh, man, Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. You know, Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. He's rid me of pain 5 times. You know, the laser away pain treatment, the reason that when he's rid me of pain, Dr. Appleton, and has not returned 5 times is because the laser treatment actually repairs the damage that is causing the pain. The pain's a signal that something's wrong. The laser away pain treatment repairs the damage causing the pain. It's amazing. He's rid me of pain 5 times. 5 times. Sometimes from accidents, sometimes arthritis, but it works. The laser away pain treatment with Dr. Appleton is 100% painless. There's no shots, no injections, no surgery, no downtime, and no appointments are necessary with Dr. Appleton. Walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. Give him a call. Here's his number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710, and online, AppletonCairo.com. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard,
all right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Metals are giving us a little bit of a buying opportunity after yesterday's rally, all the way up to $2,391 before finding some profit-taking and selling pressure, which ended up pushing it down $30 to close out the day at $2,358.60 the ounce. Silver lost 35 cents, closing out the day at $30.70 the ounce, while platinum was down $29 at $9.99, and palladium was down $20 at $1,004. This morning we've got a mixed bag. Gold down a little bit at down $2.60 at $23.56. Silver up 11 cents at $30.80 the ounce. Platinum down $9 at $9.90, and palladium up $6 at $1,010. So again, we're in the trading ranges, although the higher end of some of these trading ranges. Gold finding some support now at $2,350, whereas the support before was around $2,330. So we are moving higher slowly and giving us buying opportunities from time to time with a...
Absolutely. Now, of course, the most common form of gold that's purchased is in the 1 ounce sizes. But can you tell people about fractional gold? What is it, and what some of the best values are there?
Yeah, fractional gold. Gold comes in is actually as small as 1 gram bars, but more popular are the 5 gram bars, or the 1/10 ounce gold coins, 1/4 ounce gold coins, 1/2 ounce gold coins, all available in many different countries. And they actually, we have a lot of people that come in and just, pick up a 10th ounce gold coin from different countries for their children and pass it on and get the kids interested in saving gold and collecting gold and silver. And this is affordable ways to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, people come in once every week or even once a month or every 2 weeks, they get a 10th ounce coin. When they get 10 of them, they've got a full ounce of gold. That's amazing, isn't it, how it works? And it adds up quick, and you hear what's going on in the markets. The reason I bring up the fractional gold is because there's really gold that's in everyone's budget pretty much, right? And once you get involved in it, you'll stay in it and you'll understand what a wonderful thing it is. Give William Youngman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number is toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. You can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road, or go to his website where you'll find both his address and phone number, WilliamYoungerman.com. That's WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Okay, have a great.
All right, back after this.
Justice Warriors for breakfast.
All righty, we are back. I'm Brian Steve Kane's here. There is a Trump rally tonight, Doral, that's Miami. So and it will be on Newsmax. I understand they will be there, and this is an important speech. I know the gates open at the rally at 2. I don't know what time President Trump's speaking, but I'll be watching. That debate was 10 days ago today. And we got our convention coming up. And President Trump said that at the convention, he's going to announce his running mate, of course, because they get the nomination together. And I'm not making this as a prediction, okay? I don't think anyone knows. In fact, President Trump may not even have decided yet, right? All these guys that are on the list are on TV all the time. They may be auditioning, you know what I mean? But I find it interesting that President Trump is doing a rally in Miami. He doesn't have to do a rally in Florida. This is MAGA country. He's got the electoral votes of Florida locked up. But he's doing a rally down the street from Marco Rubio's house. I don't know if I'm reading too much into that because he's on the list, Marco Rubio. So I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but I imagine he'll be speaking there tonight. But I like everybody he picks. I don't care who he picks. Whoever he picks is fine. Yeah, I like this Doug Burgum, but a lot of people tell me bad things about him. I don't know. I know this. I've never voted for the president because of who the running mate was. Ever. Okay, and I don't think anybody has. Have you? I don't think so. I've never known someone say, I'm voting for that person because of who the vice president is. No. I mean, there's obviously... more attention being paid because of because of what a snake Pence was, and it's whoever the vice president is has a very good chance of being the second MAGA president in 2028. But I don't care if he picked Hillary Clinton. There was an incident with the Clintons on an airplane over the weekend, and it was very interesting. And people made some observations. The Clintons were on a regular commercial aircraft. Their friend Jeffrey Epstein, he's out of business. And there was a young guy on the plane. He went up and took a picture with the Clintons. And he goes up to the seats, and Bill Clinton got in and smiled ear to ear, and Hillary Clinton didn't stop reading her magazine. And the guy posted this picture online, and people said, this is why he was president and she wasn't. She is just a nasty, pissed off person. She's probably angry at Bill, like she always is, because they couldn't score a private plane and they had to fly commercial, and she's probably embarrassed by it, and she had her face buried in the magazine because she was embarrassed.
I think she's pissed because she's still recovering from elections.
She'll never get over that. Hillary Clinton is an American tragedy. She put up with more crap with her husband doing the things he did, all for the payoff of being president. And it didn't happen. And, of course, it'll never happen. She may become president of the knitting circle at the retirement home, but that's about it. I don't even think her HOA would make her president. But you saw the way the two of them were, though, in this picture. If any of you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Bill Clinton was acting like he always was. He was very charming. And Hillary Clinton looked like a witch. Okay? Did you see what Biden did to that poor black teenage girl over the weekend?
No.
Oh, my goodness. He's at one of his campaign stops. It was in Wisconsin, and it's all white except this one teenage girl, 17-year-old girl, black. They brought her up to the front of the rope line. She's so excited because a president is coming near her, right? The first time you meet anyone who's president, it's exciting. And you can see how excited she is as he's getting closer and closer and closer and closer, and then he just blew her off. Talked to the people next to her, the people behind her, the person to her left, the person to her right, and just ignored her and just kept on going. And then you see the girl's face. Just total, ugh. Well, a lot of people wondering, why did this happen? And I think she was the only black person really there. I think he just doesn't like black people.
I think that's not a shock to him.
Well, if we only talked about what shocked us, we'd talk about nothing. Right? Because I'm so jaded, Steve. Nothing shocks me that any of these people do. I mean, my goodness.
Big experience.
Steve, if you would have told me that the President of the United States would go number 2 in his pants and his constituents would be on national television saying, I don't care if he goes number 2 in his pants and can't put a sentence together, I'm still voting for him, he's doing a fine job, I would have, that doesn't even surprise me anymore, that we've gotten so jaded and things have gotten so out of control. This is, but I started the show with this and I wanted to end with it. This is a time that Republicans have never been in before. You have almost 100% of the liberal media attacking the Democrat president who's running for re-election just a few months away. We're like 4 or 5 months away from the election. This has never happened before. And they're leaving the Republican alone. They're not even, if you watch the news, when's the last time you've heard them do an extended negative piece on Trump? Not at all. Right? Not since that debate. It's been, I saw a human interest story about him golfing the last week. Right? It's amazing. And for the liberal media to spend 24 hours a day going after the Democrat nominee and president is unheard of. And this is certainly a time to savor and enjoy it, because we're never going to have an election like this again. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, there you go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Stephen Bryan. It's JJ from Matt.
Oh, hey, JJ.
JJ, what's up?
Well, I was enjoying the show today, and I was just thinking about Joey No Brain. Is it cocaine? Is it crack? Is it this new space-age drug, Viagra? NPR.
Oh, Zempic?
NPR honey, maybe. Maybe he got some of that honey, Brian.
Maybe.
It was. I was thinking he might have had a vasovagal reflex maybe on the plane, especially if he's having problems. But
I don't know what that is, but what is it?
Yeah, it's a vasovagal reflex. You basically you pass out in trying to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
That may have been what happened to him. It happened to my mother, and it's pretty.
Well, Laura Loomer still sticks by her reporting of a medical emergency with the president on Air Force One Friday, and I think it was, I'm not trying to be funny, I think it was another bathroom accident, and they didn't want him near the press until they cleaned it up.
Well, it happens for my mother. It happened when she was on the toilet. It's when you go into the bathroom, you're pushing a little bit too hard, and you lose the blood flow, and you pass out. I heard a thump. I used to have to help my mother get into the bathroom.
That's what happened to Elvis Presley. That's what happened to Elvis.
And passed out, and I heard the thump. Thank God I went in. I was freaking out. I had to pick my mother up. I hit the button for the the 911 or whatever. But it's very scary. Bottom line, it's pretty flipping out if that happened to him.
Well, a lot of people die on the toilet, like Elvis did. And what I have been told by people, the reason that happens is seniors become dehydrated. And it makes it, when they don't drink enough water, and when they go, they strain extra because of the dehydration factor, and that causes these cardiovascular issues.
This was another diagnosis from with my mom when that happened.
Same.
So,
see, I told you. Yeah.
When I was thinking about this debate, and I was thinking about Milli Vanilli and how the two kind of correlate, because, the debate was not a cheap fake, okay? Biden was a cheap fake, a fake man. And the Democrats and the liberals, they basically got to see it live. Okay, the ones that believe the lie, they got to see the truth live.
Yes.
Milli Vanilli, when everybody found out they were lip syncing.
Well,
And that's,
can I ask you a quick question before we get out of here?
Sure.
What is the status as of this morning
Of what?
of the vice president?
Of the he's sticking. He's not. Trump said he's not leaving. He's not going anywhere. Biden's going to be the nominee. He told Hannity last night.
There's no way he's going to leave unless if you see a pardon come up for. There's no way he's going to do it because he's got too many people to pardon. He's going to make his. I mean, he knows he's going to lose. They all know he's going to lose, and he's going to make it. Those 20 shell companies he has. He's going to have about 100. He'll have 100 of those. 100%. They all know he's going to.
Losing. Let me tell you, losing is not as humiliating as stepping down.
Yeah. Those
What would it look like in this case?
It's humiliating to lose, but it's more humiliating to step down.
Yeah, I agree. But plus, he doesn't get to make the money. It's all about the money with these guys, Steve. Those 20 shell companies, I said, he's going to be using those and more to rake in the money. You're talking about pardons. He's going to be selling those like.
And you know his family make money off of the campaign money and everything else too.
It's a grift. These guys are only concerned about the money and the.
And this is his last rodeo. I mean, you know, he's not going to be able to get fake jobs in the private sector. He's done. So he's got to rake in as much dough for his junkie family as he can in a short period of time.
He's going to be hiring Joe Biden for his IQ.
You know, let me tell you what's going on. You know, the great Bruce Willis, right? The great actor Bruce Willis. He's got that, you know, but the last few years, he was making garbage movies, and he couldn't even remember his lines. They were putting them in the trees and on the walls and stuff, giving him cue cards, because he was trying to rake in as much money as he could while he could still speak. And then finally he got to the point where he couldn't. That's what Biden's doing. He's got this last run to rake in some dough, and there's millions of dollars to rake in for his corrupt family in the next 6 months.
Well, 100 plus million votes.
Now, Whoopi Goldberg says she doesn't care if he goes number 2 in his pants and can't put sentences together. He does a good job. What are your thoughts?
Whoopi Goldberg. Well, I can't really say that on the radio, Brian. I'll just say that she needs to go get some of that and maybe Viagra.
Yes, exactly. And Ozempic. She needs Ozempic. Oh my goodness, she's huge. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Brian. Steve Kane has been here. And the Trump rally is in Miami. Doral today. Gates open at 2 p.m. Go early if you're driving to Miami, guys. Rush hour traffic starts at like 3 o'clock in Miami. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar.
All right, guys, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Everyone else like the video, okay? Thanks so much, guys. I will see you later.